And what I love about in this book, Energy Goals, is a book that is very easy to understand. And about this topic, you also talk about each chakra. When you talk about each chakra, you explain in which area of our life is related and what can we do and the challenges that we have with the exercise. And this is very funny because with the Mula Bandha, at the beginning, it was really, really difficult for me. But then I was like working and, working with Mula Bandha and doing my exercise of Mula Bandha.
Yes, it comes more naturally the more we do it. And actually, we don't have to keep it contracted all the time. It's a way of learning where I'm supposed to keep my consciousness, how I'm supposed to be living inside of my body. When I contract Mula Bandha and I squeeze the shoulder blades down, so let's all contract the Mula Bandha and squeeze your shoulder blades together and drop them down. And now roll your eyes up and feel the tension behind your eyes. And imagine that there's a string, a line connecting behind your eyes, right into the shoulder blades, right into the Mula Bandha at the tip of the spine. Right inside that channel, you can kind of feel yourself as if you're inside of an elevator shaft, right inside this body. When we can sense and feel ourselves in there, we know that we're animating, we're going to breathe some life into the true essential self, rather than living from this externalized protective personality self. And so as we learn how to be in there, we don't have to keep these things contracted all the time, but we have to contract them so that we can find ourselves in there. Then you can release them if you can stay in there. But if you get upset, you're going to get dispersed again out here in the world. So you want to contract them again to pull yourself right back in, and then start breathing in your belly. Then you can relax them, but make sure that you're learning what it feels like to be in your body, so that you know in an instant when you're not in your body, and you can do something about it, because it's bad news when you're not in your body. Nothing good comes from not being in your body. It's all downhill from there. All of it. We get freaked out. We start writing stories. We get mad. We say things we don't mean. It's just crazy. And it's so amazing that so much of our culture is living outside of the body. It's why we freak out in mass. It's why everybody, gets afraid. It's why everyone is less healthy than they could be, because we're not nurturing and nourishing ourselves the way that we're supposed to be.
Yeah. And how possible is that we can heal ourselves from any condition?
We can heal ourselves. We are designed to heal ourselves. Ask me again the first part of your question.
How possible is that we can heal ourselves?
How possible is it?
Under any condition, cancer, whatever.
Yes. So, most health conditions are a byproduct of some variation of what we're talking about right now. Whether they're genetically inherited or not. Science and epigenetics is teaching us that it doesn't even matter what your genetic inheritance was. You can transmute that. You can turn on some genes and turn them off. And we have the ability to do this by changing our consciousness. And the easiest way to change our consciousness is to ground our consciousness in the body and allow it to become organized, so that we can deal with one thing at a time rather than trying to respond in a chaotic manner. And so when we do organize and ground, what happens is we become available to elevate our energy, to create different chemistries in our body and heal. Chemistries that are submitted into the body, secreted into the body from the glands that are generating them, or chemistries that are made available by proper digestion and assimilation, and chemistries that are generated by proper detoxification of the body. Collectively, all of these systems work better if our consciousness is in the body and allowing them to do their job the way it's supposed to be done. Our mind is a magnifier. It enhances whatever it lands on. We know that if we think about our problems, they get bigger. If we think about our appreciations, they get bigger. If we think inside our body starts to function more. So it enhances the proper function when we bring consciousness to how the body is running. And it also keeps us from doing things with our mind that shuts down proper chemistry and generates improper chemistry and shuts down digestion or interferes with our ability to metabolize and detoxify. And so we can heal ourselves, but we can't do it the way we've been living. We have to change how we're living, and then healing will start happening automatically. When we change how we're living, everything changes. When we come into our body, everything changes. When we bring our consciousness into the body, our chemistries change, our muscle contraction changes, our circulation changes, our ability to rest more easily changes, enhances, our vital force increases, everything just turns. And so if we've been living in a way that led to disease, if we change how we're living, that disease can shift. And we've been raised in cultures that think that disease happens from the outside in. But even a virus, for instance, can only attack an unhealthy cell. We have to already be in trouble in order to get a viral infection. We have to already be toxic and too acidic. We were already headed into trouble. And then the virus moves in, and then a virus has a byproduct of living in our system. And that byproduct becomes more toxic, which creates a strain for the body to try to detoxify itself and detoxify what the virus is doing. And so we exhaust. And when we exhaust, our immune system collapses, and boom, the next thing you know, we're super, super infected. So it's important that we realize that we can heal ourselves, but we have to create a different environment inside our bodies so that the cells can do what they're designed to do. Every cell in our body is designed to be floating in an alkaline environment, except inside the stomach. Every other cell functions best in an alkaline environment. And when we are acidifying ourselves through worry and fear and anxiousness, then we're setting ourselves up for disaster. So a bacteria, a fungus, a virus, none of them can attack a healthy cell and move in. They have to find a cell that they can live in. And that one is already in trouble. So we have to keep ourselves healthy all the time. And the way to do that is, there's certain things that we can do in our lifestyle. We can eat alkalizing foods. We can drink lots of fluids. We can drink a lot of warm fluids, hot fluids that allow our system to remain highly mobile. And we can also exercise every day, and we can learn to breathe properly, and we can get the right amount of rest. And most importantly, we can anchor our consciousness in the body, which allows us to stop worrying and fretting and angering, and we can become compassionate to ourselves because we're starting to pay attention to what we're feeling and just be present to that feeling instead of overriding it and projecting it onto something else. So it's an important time in human consciousness to learn how to use the faculties that we have in such a manner that it serves us and improves us, even when we're afraid, especially when we're afraid. We can use that to our advantage instead of it, taking us out of the game.
Yeah.